and Arne Slot is going to get a baptism of fire.
And Manchester United are, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the easiest teams to play against in the Premier League.
I was giving it with chest, mate, so I have to stand here and take it. That is how it goes. Yeah, because we got absolutely dealt with, mate.
It's also the irony, by the way, that of all the Ajax players that Ten Hag signed, the one that was on the pitch playing really well was the Liverpool midfielder that we signed for, or played for Ajax. So
Martinez, shocking. You know, you're going to call him the butcher and all of this stuff. It's great, but defend, mate. Like, you've got to do your job.
He hasn't faced the wrath of Old Trafford, mate. He hasn't faced the wrath of Old Trafford. And all this Ten Hag this and Ten Hag that. Last time I checked, Arne Slot is another manager who doesn't have great history or great traditions. Done some decent things over there from the Eredivisie. Last time I checked, that's what they said Ten Hag was. So I'm very confident. I'm very confident in my team. Very confident.
And last season, over a 38-game Premier League season, you showed that. What was that stat around February time? Only Burnley and Sheffield United have had more shots on their goal than Man United last season. And when you've got players like Mo Salah, who looks on it, who looks ready, you've got fit and firing Diogo Jota, you've got Gravenberch and Szoboszlai pulling the strings, you've got Luis Diaz, who looks fit and firing, you've got one of the best passers in the history of football at right back. There's absolutely no way.
Oh, generational Trent, the one who was throwing his toys out the pram, who probably wants to go to Real Madrid. Is that the one you're talking about? The one who was crying. Is that the one you're talking about? Winning.
He's got that. If Manchester United's players, if your golden boy, your local lad, right? If your local lad Marcus Rashford had that same, because I've got no doubt, by the way, your golden. Let me finish, Flex. I've got no doubt your golden boy Marcus Rashford has got the ability, because we've seen it. Maybe if golden boy Marcus Rashford had that same winning mentality, that same drive that our golden boy Trent had, maybe Marcus Rashford will be putting in better performances than the crap we've seen him put in for the last year and a half at Manchester United.
It shows, like which I'm trying to explain to you now, which you won't take it, which you'll have to come here on Monday and be accountable for it. I'm trying to explain to you that it doesn't matter what happened in any form. It doesn't matter about all these records that get put up that Erik ten Hag's broken, all the negative goal difference and finishing 8th and last season this and last week at Brighton and the first game. It doesn't matter. This is what I'm trying to tell you, because all we heard last year, Sam, before every single time we played you is, right, we're playing these guys at Anfield. They are dross. We will wipe the floor with them. 0-0. Right. Hold on. Hear me out. So all we got told was they're dross, they're rubbish. 0-0. Couldn't beat us at the mighty Anfield. Couldn't beat us. And by the way, it was a pretty boring game. We had your captain come out. We had your captain come out, and he was surprised that we didn't play the game that they wanted us to play, so that you could smash us 5 or 6-0. Then you come to Old Trafford. Then you come for the FA Cup. Again, you've beaten Arsenal, I think, in the round before. Lovely, brilliant performance. You're expected to go to Man United and wipe the floor with them, because, again, we're dross. We're terrible in the league. Our manager's useless. What happened? We win. Then you come again in the league when you're chasing down the Premier League. Remember, you spent top for the longest last year, by the way, before it all collapsed. Before it all collapsed. On the farewell tour, when Trent was tweeting 1 down, 3 to go, may I add, right? We dumped you out of the FA Cup. Then you come in quest for the Premier League. And what happened? We put a dent in that as well. And after that, you were absolute dross. So I don't want to hear it. For how crap Man United are, you still couldn't beat us. Give me your
my
prediction.
score prediction is, I think it's going to be a tight, tense first half, but I simply think in the second half, we'll cut you open.
Manchester United will win the game, and what you'll be left with is, that same Man United team, I just don't know how we didn't beat them. They're so rubbish. And you'll be sitting there after 4 previous attempts, you're thinking, how can we not beat this team? And last time I checked, you 3 points ahead of us? We'd be on the same points, but it's the 3rd game of the season. By the end of the game, we'll be on the same points, and we go into the national break and moving on and so forth.
Hello and welcome to Settle the Score. It's Sam Ellard and Flex from the United View, where we're going to be looking back on the big clash of the Premier League weekend at Old Trafford yesterday, where it finished Manchester United 0, Liverpool 3. A pretty chaotic opening 20 minutes, but then it was Liverpool that took the lead thanks to Luis Diaz. It was 2 before half-time. Diaz with a brace, and then Mo Salah adding a third after 56 minutes. Liverpool in the end winning 3-0 and coming out pretty comfortable 3-0 winners. Myself and Flex going to look back and review the fixture yesterday at Old Trafford. Flex, my friend, I'm sure this is the last thing you want to be doing with me on a Monday morning, but you were there yesterday, my friend. From a Manchester United point of view, what went wrong?
First of all, got to take it. I was giving it, saying that we're going to win. And you say it's the last thing I want to be doing on a Monday morning with you. It's true, but I was giving it with chest, mate. So I have to stand here and take it. That is how it
Fair play.
goes.
Respect.
Yeah, because we got absolutely dealt with, mate. What went wrong? Everything that did, basically. Like you said, the first 20 minutes was really chaotic. And it was a bit end to end. I thought you were giving away possession quite easily with some loose passes. We were winning the ball back in decent areas, getting to the final third, giving the ball away as well. But the warning signs starting to appear really quickly of just how clinical and devastating you guys can be versus us, and mistakes crept in. It started as a domino effect from Casemiro, mate. I mean, he was absolutely horrendous, hooked at half time, mistake after mistake, giving the ball away countless times, numerous times. And he was just absolutely awful. And his mistakes directly led to two goals, and that killed the game. Now, I would say this: Casemiro deserves, rightly so, to be, reprimanded and taken off and stuff like that. But what to me is scary is that the domino effect that has throughout the team of people not being accountable for their actions in second phases and third phases after mistakes is scary, mate. Like that second goal where Casemiro loses the ball to Diaz, right? Fair play, Casemiro should never do that. But there's still a whole second phase where we're marked fine. Martinez is on Diaz. You've got Mazraoui and De Ligt in between. Jota's in between them. We're fine. You've got Dallo about to go to Salah, and you've got Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno just ahead of that. We're in a decent position to see out the mistake. And Martinez, absolute criminal behaviour, mate. Just, steps off of Diaz, marks the space instead of the man. Awful defending, awful defending. So as much as Casemiro is to blame for how bad he was, the whole teammate after that just capitulated, and it's pathetic.
Yeah, and obviously I know this questions are nothing new, but again after the game, there's I know I was watching on TV Flex, and Neville and Carragher were having a big debate about Ten Hag, and sort of Carragher was trying to almost be like he's Man United didn't even want him to be manager because they went and spoke to loads of other people, and I think the Gary sort of tried to go back on that, going no they didn't, they thought he was the right man, and I don't know if you've seen it, but there was quite a tetchy exchange between him and I think it was Ian Ladyman from the Daily Mail, where in the press conference just reels off everything Man United aren't good at, and Ten Hag still comes out and tries to almost sort of tell everyone that everyone else is wrong and watching the wrong thing, and he's right. But I've asked you this question throughout the summer, Flex, when we did shows on talkSPORT 2 together, but for me it felt like he had to get off to a good start this season, and I'm talking like really, really early. Otherwise, what happened towards the end of last season, these questions, these debates, they're not going to stop, are they, Flex?
They're not going to stop. They're going to intensify. And there's one thing trying to say you want to draw a line on the last season and move forward. But when you see a continuation of last season with the performances and most importantly the results, there's nowhere to hide. And this is 200 million later with players that he wants. This is Mazraoui. This is De Ligt. This is Joshua Zirkzee. How many more players does he need that are his? There's nowhere to hide. And the fact of the matter is that if you keep getting results like that, he'll be gone. If he keeps getting results like that, anyone who wants Ten Hag to leave, which I don't, I still want him to turn it around. But it's a results business, and Ineos aren't stupid. You've got Sir Jim Ratcliffe in there with his head in his hands. Not only is he a Man United fan, but he's a Man United fan with power and say and money. And he's the one, putting in a lot into the decision making. And then if Eric doesn't show what he's supposed to show, which is an improvement, then he's going to lose his job. And also, I have to say, I did feel really uncomfortable with this sort of going back to I've won these trophies thing. Like, I get you got to defend yourself against the media, but there's defending yourself and then there's being delusional. And you want to back him as a United fan, but when he's saying things like that, it doesn't add up. And then he says after the game, because it was before the game, he said, after Pep, this, that, and the other, it's us, and we've won this, we've won that. These aren't the biggest trophies in football. These are the Carabao Cup and FA Cup, respectively, which I'm really happy we've won. They're good stepping stones. but he needs to stop referencing that like that means we're a good team. Like 38 games is where you find out if you're a good team or a bad team, and rightly so. The criticism is scathing because when you lose the game in that manner and you have that response again, I'm not Harry Potter as well. You know, Ugarte is going to need months, maybe weeks with this, that, and the other. It sounds like excuses central, and it's like the excuses have to stop. He has to get a tune out of this team, or he's going to lose his job. Saying you feel sorry for the journalist that's asking you legitimate questions about why we're so open and how bad we are, and saying, "Well, I feel sorry for you. We'll see at the end of the season. We will go for trophies." Well, what are we going to be going for again? What, the Carabao Cup and the Europa League? He's saying basically, maybe the FA Cup, because we're not in the Champions League and we're not going to go for the Premier League. So if he's not careful, he's going to start to normalise the fact that trophies that aren't the most at the top of the game are going to be normalised, and that shouldn't be done at Man United.
I really thought we were going to have an argument this morning, Flex, but I've got to be honest with you. I think everything you're saying is absolutely bang on the money. I think the bit you make there about him referencing the cups, I think you're spot on. Like, we all love winning cup competitions. We all want to be at Wembley on the big days, and you guys would have had 2 great days out under Ten Hag, or 3 if you include the semi-final, and that will never get taken away from you. But you're absolutely bang on the money. You can't keep going back to those cup runs as examples of United being good, because there's cup football. You know, if you look at the Coventry game in the semi-final, you know, there was the offside by a millimetre, if even that, which kept you in it. And no, the 38 game season last year showed that United are a poor team. So I think you're bang on the money there. Look, Casemiro's going to take some stick this morning, Flex. That's pretty obvious. Anyone else yesterday? You know, you were disappointed in. Again, I don't want to keep picking on him, but I thought Rashford was quiet again, Flex.
Yeah, collectively, you know, Rashford, it's not just about one player, it's a collective, but he was poor. He was really, really poor. He did stay on, and a lot of fans booed that decision when they took off Garnacho. But when he did stay on, he did put it on a plate twice with Joshua Zirkzee, actually, and he didn't score. Zirkzee was really poor. I felt like it was a baptism of fire for him. He was sort of looking about the place as if to say, this is intense. And every time he got the ball, it was like he wanted to slow the game down to his pace so he could feel comfortable and ease his way into the game. This is Liverpool at Old Trafford, kid. It's going to be tough. You know, these games are tough. And I'm not going to pile in on him. He's our new signing and it's his first start. So he needs time to get up to speed. But I think he will leave that going, this is tough. I've got to get in my mental bag here, and I've got to get on it, because this is difficult. I thought Garnacho, we wanted him to start, you know, but again, he was poor. Got into good positions, but made bad decisions. Was wasteful on the ball. Bruno Fernandes, time and time again, especially in that first 20 minutes when it was a bit like a basketball match, and we had actually opportunities to break on you and slide balls in behind. He played one good ball with the outside of his foot to Garnacho. Other than that, he had a sort of 3v2, picked the wrong option, giving the ball away quite a few times, not getting back in quick enough. So he wasn't great. Kobe Mainoo struggled. Again, in the first 20 minutes, he was okay winning the ball back. We were fine, but once the mistakes started trickling in, and the third goal, he knows, you know, he tries to turn on Szoboszlai, I think, or someone else, and gets the ball nicked off him. And Szoboszlai travels with it. I think it was Szoboszlai. So he knows what he did wrong there. So it was clamorous. Martinez, shocking. You know, you're going to call him the butcher and all of this stuff. It's great, but defend, mate. Like, you've got to do your job. Dalot did okay, and Mazraoui, they had the passion. They tried to do what they could do. The same with De Ligt. I think before the dominoes started falling, he was good. We got a glimpse of what he could do. Onana, shocking. So yeah, I could dig out almost all of them, mate. It was that bad. And then the decisions that Erik Ten Hag made on top of that, you live and die by your decisions, and he got them all wrong.
Yeah, and Flex, a word on Liverpool. I know always when Man United losing is the story, but I know we're only 3 games into the season, but from a Liverpool point of view, I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. Obviously, you know, not just the victories, but I think the style of football. I love this kind of, I say new look midfield. It's not a new look midfield with the personnel, but kind of the way we're playing is a little bit different. You know, Ryan Gravenberch, again, only 3 games in, but man, he looks like a different player. He looks reborn already. And there's also the irony, by the way, that of all the Ajax players that Ten Hag signed, the one that was on the pitch playing really well was the Liverpool midfielder that we signed for, or played for Ajax. So But I'm loving this Gravenberch in midfield playing deep. He looks fantastic. The midfield three are linking up really well. We're being a little bit more patient in our build-up play, but it's working. I mean, Mo Salah, he looks fit. He's got a new trim. He looks lean. He's had a great summer.
Incredible.
And yeah, I mean, so far, so good. You know, we're looking solid defensively. The only sort of negative that's kind of hanging over us is the contract situation. You know, I think for so long, for so many years, kind of certainly since Klopp came in, and Michael Edwards was there, kind of everything above Klopp and above the players was done brilliantly in terms of players in, players out, and kind of really contract situations like that. We never got ourselves into this situation, and it's pretty crazy that our three best players have all got a year left on their deal. And Mo Salah basically kind of on prompt yesterday on TV just came out and said, "This is my last year," and it's like, what?
Yeah, he said,
Wow,
everybody
hang on a
knows it's my
minute.
last year. I just want to enjoy it.
Yeah. So when that kind of came out of nowhere, you think, right, with no bombshells, we just won 3-0 at Old Trafford. So yeah, that's the only kind of negative, and it's a real shame that we're in this situation. I kind of feel that Trent and Van Dijk will be at the club maybe beyond this season, but looks like maybe Salah, with his age, where he's at, maybe the club don't offer him a new deal, which feels absolutely scandalous when you look at what shape he's in, how well he's playing, how hungry he looks. Man, you give this guy whatever he wants, but on the pitch, it's so look, new manager, always post Klopp. It was going to be, I think he's getting wins under his belt. It settles everything down. The style of football looks good. Everyone looks happy. And yeah, look, I'm a happy Liverpool fan. But what did you make seeing Liverpool up close in the flesh yesterday?
It's all right for some. To be honest, I want to say it's scary, and they were absolutely brilliant, and we couldn't lay a finger on them. But the truth of the matter is Liverpool didn't have to get out of first gear because Man United just gave them
Yeah.
the opportunities. And when you have players like Salah and Diaz who were that clinical, especially Salah, like they were easy chances for him. Diaz's second finish was a good finish, but like Salah, like that's just meat and
Yeah.
drink. Like for him, it really, really is. He could do that with his eyes closed. And when you give him the ball in those situations, when you're that open, it's only going to end one way. But I'm not going to take anything away from Liverpool. They were organised. They dealt with any sort of half threat that we had. Yes, we wasn't good, but if I look at Van Dijk and Konate, they were just really comfortable. Joshua Zirkzee, he wasn't going to run beyond them or run towards them. Everything was just coming off the front, so they were never in any danger. Our wingers made poor decisions, so it was easy for Robertson and Trent. Midfield, Casemiro gave them the ball many times. It's like you do that against good players like Szoboszlai and really good players like McAllister, then it's only going to end one way. I can't, Liverpool had 3 shots on target whole game and scored 3. Man United had 3 shots on target as well. Like it's really weird. So Liverpool didn't have to be better than first gear to beat Man United. Ipswich gave Liverpool a tougher game than Man United did yesterday. That first half of Portman Road, do you know what I mean? That first half of Portman Road had Arnie Slot going, I tell you what, if I don't change this, if I don't change this, we're in trouble. And that's the most damning indictment you can give on Man United, that Kieran McKenna's Ipswich give a better game to Liverpool at home than Man United did.
Final question, Flex, to wrap it up. I'm sure you've got a lot of these to do today. Is Ten Hag surviving the international break?
Oh, he'll survive the international break.
I should say that tongue in cheek a little bit, okay?
Yeah, he'll survive the international break, but mate,
The next one, October?
You got Southampton after the break away, 12:30. Everybody watching. You don't get something from that.
Not the early kickoff, Flex, away from home.
Early kickoff away from home. If you don't get something there, and then what? Palace away. You got Spurs at home, Villa away. There's some tough games, mate.
European games in between as well, Flex.
European games in between. It could spiral very, very quickly.
It is so good to have the Premier League back. The Premier League is back. Man United is still bad. Man United fans are in turmoil. Neville and Carragher are arguing on the side of the pitch at Old Trafford. Death, taxes, and United being bad. It's great to have the Barclays back, isn't it, Flex?
I wish I could agree, but I can't.
Oh, by the way, on one side note, I was relieved for Trent that Liverpool won, because I thought if you kiss the camera, have your goal disallowed, and then you don't win, that's going to be a meme for the rest of your career.
Absolutely. Well, now what's going to be a meme is him walking around smiling, giving it the free, which again, he's entitled to do that. They give him stick all game. You know, it's a rival. That's what happens. And if you
But
win on that patch, you get to gloat. So got to hold it.
but also that could work against him. Like, you know, if 3 games without a win for Liverpool, that everyone does that. It's like what you keep mentioning when he put the picture up last year, 1 down, 4 to go or 3 to go.
Exactly.
You know, so he's like, these things are great now.
Got to take it, mate. Got to take it.
It'll come and bite him on the backside at some point, won't it?
Absolutely. Got to take it.